Yo, what's good, people? Today we're going to be talking about Kimberly. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like the video. Tell me what you think about Kimberly, because I've been playing Kimberly in ranked. I recently got her to master rank, so it was stressful to say the least. It was very, very stressful to say the least. But I think Kimberly I think she's kind of mid-tier-ish. I don't know. She's weird because she has spells sometimes where she's excellent, and then she has spells where I feel like I can't do anything in terms of spacing, poking, stuff like that. And I feel like I have to play much, much better than the opponent or be random. Kimberly is a weird one. But anyway, this guide is going to be... It's not really going to cover combos too much, because I feel like combos is kind of... You would typically find that in a beginner guide or a combo guide. This is more advanced techniques. So you've got stuff like save jumps, how to use drive rush, raw drive rush, how to use save jumps, drive rush conversions, setups, plus frames. It goes over some advanced techniques that you typically wouldn't really find in a beginner guide. So let's just get right into the video. Okay, so we have Kimberly's... I'm going to start off by doing frame traps. We're going to be discussing Kimberly's plus on block moves and typically sequences that you would fish for counter hits. So we're going to put block all, and I want you to pay attention to the frame meter. The frame meter is very good in this game, so it will tell you, for example, this move, crouching medium punch, is -1 on block. So the top one is always the player and the bottom one's always the opponent. So in this situation, Manon would be +1 and I will be -1. So I want you to pay attention to that frame meter as well, because that's going to give you a lot of information about why certain things are happening, the maths behind certain things. But we're going to jump straight into her plus frames. So there's 3 main plus moves that I would use with Kimberly, and that's low forward, crouching medium kick, which is +1. Fish for a counter hit low jab. So I'm going to put her to do block reversal, crouching light punch. I'm not sure if hers is... Okay, it's 4 frames. So 4 frames is the fastest startup move in the game, which is normally low jab or stand jab. Sometimes stand jab is 5 frames, as you can see. Kimberly's is 5 frames. But I think some characters have a standing 4 frame. But typically it's always this move, which is 4 frames. So as I was saying, this is now going to be plus on block. And a lot of people, they press, because that doesn't look plus, but it is plus. So that's one thing you should look out for. The second move that we're going to be talking about is standing hard kick. And now, to be honest, I don't really use this move in games too much, just because its range isn't that good. I guess when you're up close, you can kind of... It's +2 on block. In this situation, you can actually do stand jab to fish for a confirm, because you have more frames to work with. You have 1 more frame to work with to still remain plus in the interaction. So for example, if I turn on crouching light punch again, I'm gonna be plus if I do a 5 frame move. But I still wouldn't really fish for that. I'd do this one instead, because this is better. The third move we're going to talk about is she has a stance called sprint, but the one that's plus is sprint light kick, which is +1, the flip kick. So again, people do not respect this move, and it's plus, so you can fish again for counter hits. So if I do... Oh, it was late. Yeah. So again, very good move. I think it catches a lot of people by surprise. They don't expect this move to be plus. Then I want to get into EX. So whenever she does a move with EX, it's +2. It adds +2 kind of advantage to that move. So for example, let's talk about overhead. So overhead is -3 on block. So if you add 2 frames of advantage to that, now she's going to be -1. So you'll see what I mean. Now she's going to be -1. It's the same with slide. So slide on block is -12. Now she's going to be -10 if she does it on with EX. So now this is +1. Add 2 is +3. Oh, I did the wrong one. Now this is going to be +3. So you can do more things, like I think you can do this as a frame trap. Exactly. So you can do this as a frame trap. And again, people will press after that. It's a good kind of check to do. And then she has one more, which is crouching hard punch into EX run stop. If you do crouch jab, she's +1 in this situation. So if you do, she's going to be +1. So that's another one you can do. You can fish for counter hits. Some sequences I would use as well. Sometimes I use like they're not plus, but they work. You can technically interrupt them, but like people see EX and they block. So I usually do to end the round or something like this. This is really good. This move in general, the EX one, is really nice for ending rounds. And this move, I was saying in my last guide, this move is very, very good for mental stack. So when you've hit your opponent with stuff like that and they press, now they're gonna see run and think, oh, I can't press. You just have to kind of build mental stack with Kimberly, and that's the important thing. Mental stack is important with Kimberly because frame-wise, she's not really that great, honestly. It's just the mental stack. You have to force people to respect you, kind of thing. So those are her plus frames. I'm gonna move on to the next section, which is safe jumps. Okay, so now I picked Ryu. I'm gonna show you some safe jumps. I picked specific safe jumps because they are consistent. Some safe jumps are very, very situational, but these safe jumps you can kind of do anywhere on the screen, basically. So what happens is, with a safe jump, what happens is, you knock them down, and if you expect an EX reversal, so like an EX DP from Ryu or Luke or something like that, the jump attack you do will land and you'll block the EXDP. But if he doesn't do EXDP, he's gonna block it normally and you'll be plus. So that's what a safe jump is. You kind of avoid getting EXDP'd, but you also are plus in the situation. So it kind of covers both options, blocking and doing EX reversal. So that's what a safe jump is. So what we're gonna do is, the first one is if you knock them down with an air tatsu and a combo. So you would do something like this. And so now if he EXDPs, the safe jump allows you to jump in and be safe, or jump in and be plus. So we're gonna show you how it works. So let's try that one more time. Yeah. So it's gonna block. I'm gonna block it. So now if we turn off the reversal and then have block, you're gonna see the same thing. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna see the same thing. It's a safe jump, but it is kind of hard to time. You really do have to do this as early as possible. But yeah, you remain plus in the situation, so this is a good safe jump to do. It's very good, and you're plus. Look at that, plus 10. So you know they can't really press a button. So that's the first safe jump. Okay, so now we have the second safe jump, which is similar to the first one, where jump heavy punch, but you set it up differently. So you do this, you do the wall splat, you do flip kick, you whiff jab, and then you jump. You have to do everything with immediate timing. If you delay anything, you will get hit. So it is kind of tough to set up, but once you get the timing, it's not too difficult. I'm gonna show you. See what I mean? So now I'm gonna turn off EXDP and show you what it looks like without EXDP, and if he just blocks it. He blocks, and I'm plus 10. So that is another safe jump you can do. Okay, so now we're going to cover drive rush. So there's many ways to use drive gauge, and I think one of the strongest ways to use drive gauge is drive rush, raw drive rush. This adds 4 plus frames. So as you can see, I'm plus 5 normally, and the drive rush version would add 4 plus frames. So 4 frames of advantage. So I'm now on plus 9. So as you can see, this is 9 frames. So that's gonna combo. Obviously, or this one. It depends. If you want to go for damage, you would do the first combo. If you want to do a wall carry or something, then you would do the target combo tatsu or target combo slide. Oh, target combo slide. Set up the bomb. This is good as well. Technically it's seeable, but I think I've hit a lot of people with this move. Top players, master rank players. So just because it's seeable doesn't mean it doesn't work in matches. But anyway, the point is this is plus 4 on hit. Now this is going to be plus 8 on hit. As you can see, 8 frames. So you would do normally just target combo from that. You would just do target combo, honestly. Yeah, that's like the best thing, I would say, because this doesn't work. This will not reach. So you can only do target combo. And then hard punch will not combo either. So unless you want to burn meter, then... But I don't think the damage is worth it. Look at the scaling. It's just... If you knock them down with this move and they wake up, you can do drive rush and continue pressure. So a lot of people, when they knock you down, they'll do drive rush to continue pressure, even though normally they wouldn't be able to do that. So it's really good. Obviously, if it's in the corner, you can... Well, that wasn't in the corner, but if it's in the corner, you can just do pressure normally. Yeah, but so you wouldn't need to use drive rush. But if it's out of the corner in mid-screen, you can do whatever you want. You can't do this off of Tatsu because it just has too much stop frames, but this is good anyway just because it's low and it will catch people walking back or trying to backdash or jump or whatever. So the next one I have is forward throw drive rush. So the same situation applies. You would do low forward. You can't do overhead. So I guess people that know this would always block low. The low forward's plus anyway, so then you're kind of in for free, I guess. And then you can do shimmies, you can do throw, you can do continue the pressure. Same situation applies, except you just have to do it early. You can't. So for example, if I try to get real close to Reeve, he's gonna interrupt. So you have to do this. So this would be like the max conversion from that, or you would do this. If you think you're too far, sometimes if you mistime the low forward, it will whiff like that. So what you can do is you can do this. Will always reach this because this has loads of range. And then obviously, yes, if you're just mid-screen and you want to get in for free, you can do that. It's just a good tool, to be honest. So the one move I would use mid-screen with drive rush is actually her target combo. This one in drive rush is very good because it doesn't push back. It like floats. It leaves them at a float state. So you can actually use this in combo. So you can do that. Let's say, for example, if you block a DP. Okay. So let's say, for example, I want to punish this as hard as possible, but with as little resources as possible in terms of drive gauge. Let's say I have level 3, right? So now in this situation, when you knock him up into the air, you can use a drive rush and then do target combo. And this will knock them into the air a little bit, and then you can do into super 3. So I'm going to show you the whole sequence. And that works mid-screen as well. That's not a corner thing. That is going to work. And this is a lot of damage for a punish counter. And I didn't even use that many resources in terms of drive gauge. I used like 1 bar. The damage you get from using 1 bar with drive rush in a combo, raw drive rush, is better than doing a drive rush cancel that takes 3 bars. So that's what I mean with kind of resource allocation. The other one I want to talk about is if you set up the bomb, the mix-up is throw, relaunch, or it is, you know, they don't want to take the throw, so they tech and they get hit with a block string, or they just block. So it's kind of 3-way guessing. So if they tech now, this is what's going to happen to them if they tech. So now I've set Ryu to the corner. You can do her normal bomb setup, which typically is target combo, medium bomb, and then a block string, because he teched there. So if I knock him down, he's going to throw me. So as you can see, that's what happens if he techs. If he doesn't tech, he gets launched anyway. So that's what would happen if they teched, because they don't want to get launched by the bomb. The bomb would launch, the medium bomb would launch. But let's just say he techs and I do this. That's the max damage combo from that with no meter. What you would do to maximize the damage a little bit with 1 bar is you would do the same thing, but you would do drive rush, raw drive rush, crouching medium punch, flip kick, and then into the super. And this is a lot of damage, and that only costed 1 bar. It's kind of up to you what you want to do with drive rush, but I think the best use for drive rush is kind of like just using 1 bar. While we're on the topic of corner and bombs and all that stuff, I've already shown you how to set up the bomb in the corner, but the reason why this block string is so good after the bomb is because it takes a lot of... Firstly, this whole interaction is plus. So as you can see, they can't wake up with a throw. They can't. The only thing they can do to beat this is EXDP. So if they press buttons, they're gonna get hit. If they throw, they're gonna get hit. If they block, they're gonna get hit. Well, they're gonna block it, but it's gonna take loads of drive gauge. So let's just say block up the first hit. Okay, that works. Look at that drive gauge. That's 2 bars gone. And I'm still not done with the pressure because this is plus. So I can do like something like that. I don't know. But if you knock him down, that's basically 2 bars gone, right? So that's why it's so good. Then if you do the same thing, and they don't tech, well, now they're launched. And then, yeah, you would do the normal combo, the B&B. Everyone knows that combo by now. I don't really need to show that. I think that's the best way to use drive rush and drive gauge as Kimberly. And then we're going to move on to the next section, which is shimmies. Intermediate to advanced technique, where you act as if you're going to walk up and throw them. Or it could be a jump in. And sometimes people do or tick throw. People do that. But you walk back as if to bait the grab. Or sometimes you can walk forward, walk back. A lot of people dance around this area. You have to be careful though, because sometimes you can walk into the grab range and get grabbed. So you have to stay out of the grab range. So for example, shimmies that I like to do is dash forward, dash back, and then hard punch, which will be punish counter. So because they whiff grab, that will be punish counter. So for example, this on punish counter would give, let's just turn punish counter on. That's 2,800 damage for trying to tech. Is crazy. So sometimes if you're worried about the range, like let's say for example you do it here, standing medium kick will reach. So it's like kind of up to you what one you want to use. If you want to use this for max damage, you can. Those are the main 2 I would use. So yeah, those are just some shimmies and some advanced techniques I want to bring to attention. Those are my thoughts on Kimberly in kind of an advanced light, I guess. So I covered shimmies, I covered how to use drive gauge, I covered safe jump, some really weird stuff. The thing is with Kimberly is she has so much tech, but it's very, very situational and specific. I wanted to give you tech that you could use over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So stuff like draining the gauge, or this one is max damage. So like draining the gauge, stuff like that. So if they block it, they're still minus because you can do you can do heavy kick or you can do low forward. I mean, the possibilities are endless with Kimberly, really. It's just very difficult to fight in certain ranges, and because she doesn't have like a low forward drive rush, I think it can be difficult for Kimberly to kind of compete in neutral at some ranges, especially just because she doesn't have, I mean, this button is really good, I can't complain, but in terms of like mediums, her buttons are just stubby, I guess, stubby, and she doesn't have a drive rushable low forward crouching medium kick. She doesn't, this is not drive rushable, she has to do it raw. So there's some things that are Kimberly's lacking, and you know, she has some holes in her gameplay, but that was Kimberly's advanced guide. I know it's going to be a long video, but you know, it's advanced, what did you expect type of thing. But yeah, if you liked it, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Let me know again what you think about Kimberly. Do you think Kimberly's viable at top level? It's not that I don't think she's viable, I just think she has to work harder than some characters, like for example like Luke, Ken, just to name a few, Manon, just to name a few, JP, just to name a few. I'm gonna end up naming the whole cast, but you get my point. I think she just has to work a little bit harder in terms of like actual fundamentals. Like yes, she has tools to rob you, like full screen slide and stuff and teleport, but again, I think they're very, very risky reads. Yeah, but she has good tools to kind of like end the round, you know. This move is very good to remain plus, stuff like that. So yeah, Kimberly is a solid character. I do like Kimberly. But that was it. Peace.